Today, I want to talk about how the coming AMC acquisition will cause the squeeze, and how AMC and Disney are about to combine to take on China, and finally how this all now seems to be proven from AMC's latest 10K filing. So stay tuned and let's make some money. Now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, Adam Aron tweeted saying this week Disney's visionary CEO Bob Iger had this to say about movie theatres. He said people love to be entertained in theatres around the world, and it gives us reason to be optimistic about the movie business. And he added saying AMC is 100% in Bob Iger's corner. We support him and Disney with our all. So Guardian tweeted saying, let's start here. When the pandemic first broke out, Adam Aron had been headed to China on business. He had previously spoken about this in pre-screening speeches. Previously at CinemaCon, Adam Aron did an interview and said he was in talks to build a lot of theatres in another country, but he said we're not prepared to announce that just yet. But check out this interview Adam Aron gave at a university.
So what's going on in the Chinese movie theater business in the last several years is just beyond remarkable. And any business person would kill to be in an industry with the kind of growth that Chinese theaters are experiencing. Just a couple of statistics. Last 5 years, the number of people going to movie theaters in China has quadrupled.
So it seems that both Disney and AMC want to start going around the world and opening theatres in new locations with high growth, like China. But what further proof do we have of an AMC and Disney acquisition to take on China? Well, as Biotech Moose tweeted, he said AMC and Disney are good partners, and Disney with Bob Iger has worked hard to get Chinese market access. And a recent Disney SEC filing describes Iger's move to try and court China. It says here that China continues to posture itself as a champion for globalization, and Disney's CEO Bob Iger has an exceptionally good relationship with Chinese President Xi Jinping. And the approval by China indeed continues Disney's chief Iger's rare winning streak in the highly regulated Middle Kingdom media market. So it seems AMC wants to expand into the Chinese movie theatre business, and looks like it may need Bob Iger's help to do so. But what I think really ties this all together is AMC's latest amendment to their change in control policy from their latest 10K filing, effective May 3rd, 2023. So it says the company hereby adopts this change of control policy under the company's 2013 Equity Incentive Plan, effective May 3rd, 2023. So it basically says that upon the occurrence of a change in control, the vesting of all outstanding awards granted to officers with the title of SVP or higher shall be accelerated to occur immediately, prior to the occurrence of such change in control event. So the filing then goes on to define this change in control. It says if there's a consummation of a reorganisation, a merger, or a consolidation or acquisition to which the company is a party, or a sale or other disposition of all or substantially all of the assets of the company, aka a business combination. So what this new policy is basically saying is that if AMC goes through a merger, some kind of business consolidation, or some kind of acquisition or sale, then any existing share options held by those directors vest immediately before the sale. Now, from my background in accounting, I know that's something that's very typically done before an acquisition or a sale, and it's interesting that AMC is implementing this new policy right now, effective May 3rd, 2023. So clearly AMC is planning for some kind of merger, business combination or acquisition or sale to take place very, very soon. Otherwise they wouldn't have implemented this new change in control policy until a later date, or they would have done it back in 2013 when the equity incentive plan was first created. And also from one of AMC's recent filings, it says that as we become ever so much more confident in AMC's vitality, we can actually look forward again to our longer term future, and specifically how we can improve the appeal of our theatres and how we can grow and transform AMC for merger and acquisition activity. Therefore, AMC is clearly planning some kind of immediate merger and acquisition, likely with Disney, to take on China. But something I found very, very interesting is that there may be another interested party that also wants to take on China as well, and it's none other than Ryan Cohen. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to sign up to Moomoo, the sponsor of today's video, by using the link down in the description below. You can currently get up to a whopping 15 free shares, entirely commission-free trading, free level 2 market data, and most importantly of all, Moomoo is very easy to use and it's very clear and concise. Ryan Cohen tweeted numerous times about China in 2022 and recently again in March of 2023. He said that A, he's got a crush on China, and that B, China is a sleeping giant. Therefore, you should let her sleep, for when she wakes, she will move the world. Maybe it's some kind of possible partnership between AMC, Disney, and GameStop, or more specifically, Adam Aaron, Ryan Cohen, and Bob Iger. But so why is this acquisition important, and how exactly does it impact the shorts, and how exactly does it impact the AMC squeeze? Well, Mr. David Neo tweeted recently about Bed Bath & Beyond, but the exact same thing applies here to AMC as well. It says that if a private or public entity, aka Disney or GameStop, buys the entire float of AMC at an auction or buys it entirely outright in a business combination, an acquisition, or a business consolidation, then the entire float must be removed from the market and delisted. Now that means that any oversold shares or synthetics must be purchased back, any shares on loan must also be purchased back, and all long positions in the market must also be purchased back, because you can't have ownership floating around in the market after the sale. Obviously, if Disney is buying 100% of AMC, they have to buy 100% of AMC. They can't leave any shares in my account or remaining in your account, for example. But obviously Disney won't want to buy any of those shares that have been sold multiple times over, or any of those shares that are still on loan and in multiple separate accounts. Therefore, all shares on loan have to be recalled, and all synthetic shares must be closed out of before the acquisition actually goes through. And obviously, if the shorts have to buy back all of these shares before the acquisition actually happens, that basically guarantees a squeeze pre-acquisition, because that means the shorts would have to go into the market and not just buy back the 136 million legally shorted shares on loan, but also those hundreds of millions and likely billions of illegal synthetic shares as well. I think we have to remember this is actually a very real way the shorts can be forced to close out of their short positions. Previously, we've spoken about hedge funds failing during this banking crisis, but also about synthetic shares being exposed as fact in court. And while both of those are very much catalysts, we still have additional catalysts in ways that shorts can be forced to close out of their positions through acquisitions. This is obviously something I've made a number of videos about in the past, especially now that talks between AMC and Disney have been heating up more and more over the last 5 months to a year or so. Especially after Disney's recent earnings announcement, where they announced their streaming business was performing poorly, but their theatrical releases were performing excellently. If anything, Disney needs AMC now more than ever, especially as their online streaming business is failing. So now will be an excellent time to see a business acquisition or a business combination between AMC and Disney, and maybe even with Ryan Cohen and even Elon Musk getting involved as well. And while this acquisition or business sale is going on in the background, it's also nice to see that Disney, Apple, and Amazon will all be doing deals with AMC, and it will just be additional money in AMC's pocket. Pip and Sammy tweeted saying the revenue streams just keep growing for AMC, and AMC shareholders are just riding the wave. As this acquisition is going on in the background, AMC is just going to keep growing and improving fundamentally, making these shorts more and more scared for this coming acquisition. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.